probably hate me for telling this story. Johnny's a good friend of ours. We've known him from back when we were in school, in our school days, So he's one of the neighborhood friends. And back in high school, in the summer, when he was dating his ex girlfriend Lisa. Okay. And this is before
we laugh because we remember Lisa.
And this is before we had cars, so we had bicycles. So we decided.
I still have a bicycle, by the way, just like to know. I still don't have a car, but go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
So we decided to ride our bikes from Johnny's place to Lisa's, and probably about a block and a half from Lisa's house. Before we get to Lisa's house, we had this wide open, pathway. There were no cars. So we felt like, oh, this is great. We can start racing. We both thought about this, and we looked at each other, and we're like, kind of intimidating each other, and like pedaling, and slowly getting faster and faster and faster, and then all of a sudden we're going really fast, and we're both looking at each other, and then all you hear is snap, chain snaps, and you see Johnny flying.
That is awesome. That moment when he's flying, I know you can picture it in your mind, right? Because that must have been awesome. That's an awesome sight. Like, you see him flying through the air.
Immediately, I panicked. I was like, holy cow, he could have really hurt himself.
Right.
But then, once I saw that he didn't have any scratches, he didn't have any, he probably just had some bruises, and fear, afraid. He got up, and for some reason, I just couldn't stop laughing.
Of course.
I couldn't stop laughing. He goes, thanks, I just flew off my bike. And you're laughing.
And you can't stop laughing.
And you can't stop laughing. Thanks.
That's funny. Yeah, no, that's so.
It was just so. What was funny about it, and even remembering, is just looking at his face, and he's like, really, really, competitive and threatening. He's like. And then a split second later, he's flying.
Flying through the air. With the look of fear on his face, right? I remember one time, we were in Rosedale, right? And because I lived next to the movie theater. So, we were in the back, in the parking lot of the movie theater. So, for some reason, me and Juan used to hang out back there. There's all types of stupid stuff. So we found a shopping cart, right? We found a shopping cart, right? And we were really young at this point, maybe 10, we were young, maybe like 5th, 6th grade, 10, 11. So we decide, I'd say, Juan, get in the shopping cart, and I'll push it, and I'll jump on it, and we'll just like fly through the parking lot. She's like, yeah. So this idiot gets in the shopping cart, right? So there's a curb. Like, they had just redone the parking lot, so there's a curb, and on the opposite side of the curb is a big patch of grass. So I start running full speed, pushing the shopping cart, and I run and I let it go. Right towards the curb. So now he's in this speeding shopping cart, heading towards the curb. Now I know this sounds like a dick move, like this is a total thing to do, but he did a lot of crap to me just like this. So it was just awesome to watch him think it out. Like, he knows that he's gonna fall, right? But it was awesome to watch him think it out,
Figure it out.
Like, how am I gonna do this?
How can I possibly
survive?
Minimize the pain.
Right. So he's flying full speed. It was a little down the hill too. So he's like picking up speed, right? So he gets up like it's like a surfboard. He gets up like it's a surfboard, right? So now he's like surfing the shopping cart. So right before it hits the curb, he jumps off. And he goes flying. He's flying through the air. But he landed on his feet. Then he fell, but he was fine. But it was amazing to watch him. Just like think, all right, I got to get up. I have to get up because if I stay in the shopping cart, I'm just gonna get slammed into the ground. Yeah. So he got up and was surfing the shopping cart, and then he leaped off. It was a beautiful sight. It was like watching like ballet.
Well, at least it worked for him. I thought that would have been the wrong move, you know.
No, it was fun.
I would have stayed in there.
Really? You would have stayed in there and felt the full force of the curb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stayed in there. Because he felt the full force of gravity when it came down.
It was awesome. It was an awesome spectacle. I enjoyed every second. I can picture it to this day. That's the thing you don't forget. I mean, that happened 23 years ago, maybe. And I remember it like it was yesterday.
Wow. It's amazing. Some things just never go away. You never forget.
Maybe we're a little older. You know, I was probably 10, so it was maybe 20 years ago. But I do remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, the things that you'll never forget, you know, no matter how old you are. As long as your memory is there, you know, you can.
Who was your best friend while you were growing up, Lindsay?
Oh, on the spot, on that question.
Best friends. Let's switch the topic to best friends while we were growing up. You know, kid friends.
Best friends. So when I lived in Scotland before I moved to England, it was Charlotte, who I'm still friends with
Charlotte?
to this day. Charlotte, yes. And then when I moved
Is she hot? Is Charlotte hot?
Charlotte's a lovely girl. I'm just attached already.
Oh.
So,
Too bad.
too bad on that one for you. And then in the in England, Kim was a really, really good friend when I was growing up. And then I've got my girls, Katie, Claire, Hannah, Emma, and the lovely Carly also.
And they're all in England?
They're all in England. And then I have my Scottish friends that I made at university. A big shout out to Lee and Suzanne.
Oh, hope they listen to it. Yes, we should get it out there. We should
big
get
shout out.
Cafe Chats out to Scotland. Yes, we should get it worldwide.
Well, it's available worldwide.
This is right. YouTube is around.
By the way, Cafe Chats is available on iTunes, and also it's available. You can follow us on Twitter, Cafe Chats at Twitter.
Nice.
Wow.
I just want to throw that in.
Yes, Ronald, like technical genius here. Ooh, look at that. That looks tasty. Lindsay has just received some kind of dessert.
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee. What is that? What is that exactly? Explain that dish to the listeners.
It's vanilla bean creme brulee, and it's absolutely delicious.
Oh my
it's
God.
gonna break through the caramel exterior.
Oh, wow. That looks like alien food. Looks amazing. And Cafe Chats we're now broadcasting from a bar.
That's why it's so loud.
That's why it is loud. That's why it's loud.
Maybe later we'll get one of the folks, some of the folks here to join the call.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Conversation.
They all look very young and I don't know, very annoying.
Well, you never know. You know, youth is today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. So.
Hey, you know what they say though? Youth is wasted on the young. Yes. But back to childhood friends.
Best friends, right?
Childhood friends in general. Me and George were recently talking about Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Charlie is. Well, why don't you explain who Charlie was, Ronald?
So when I moved to Rosedale, I was like in 5th grade.
Rosedale, Queens, New York.
Queens, New York, right? 11422, I believe.
That's right. 11422.
Code 11422.
That's right.
Well, so I moved to Rosedale, and next door to me was this kid named Juan, and you know we became friends, and he was already friends with this kid named Charlie, which Charlie came like every 2 weeks because his parents were divorced, and he was really into baseball, and he's a kid that would like throw like 90 miles per hour with a tennis ball.
He was amazingly strong. He was a strong kid.
He was very strong, very aggressive kid. I remember.
But aggressive, but also friendly.
Yeah, friendly way. Yes, aggressive in a friendly way. Right, he did not realize his own strength.
He wasn't a bully by any stretch.
No, he was not a bully.
He wasn't a bully. He wasn't aggressive in that way. But he was like very physical kid.
Yes, he was
He was like a big Saint Bernard.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. And the thing I remember the most is when his dad had a pool in the backyard, and I remember one time we were all in the backyard, you know, playing in the pool, and he would always like like try to like fight you, like play fight you in the pool.
In the pool.
Yeah, in the pool. And he was taking karate at this time, so you know how like if you try to throw a punch, it's like very slow.
Right, right.
If you try to throw a kick, you know,
In underwater.
yeah, underwater, it's very slow.
Right.
Well, he tried to, you know, he tried to, how can I put it?
Train like this.
Yeah, I think he trained like this every day because when you would play fight with him, it was just like he was like you were like a speed bag to him. So you were like practically drowned while you were in the pool with him.
Yeah, I do remember Charlie. I remember him well. I remember, like I said to George, I remember him really, really friendly, really nice guy, but there was something about him, like I felt like at any moment he can snap and beat the hell out of me. Like if I said the wrong thing, I envisioned him like just stomping me out or something.
Yeah.
Well, one time he was, you know, we were just kind of like sparring a little bit, and he just hit this 360 roundhouse kick, double, triple punch, you know. Of course, all of it was in the air, but I was just like, oh, okay. And then the very next day, we had our good friend Johnny again. He came out, and we didn't tell him. We didn't tell him about Charlie's amazing, you know, karate skills and kung fu skills. And Johnny, you know, this time he had this big like confidence that he thought he was the toughest guy.
Johnny, really?
Yeah. This time
I don't really remember Johnny everything. He was really tough.
really confident.
I remember Oscar thinking that.
Because Johnny's really strong.
Yeah, Johnny's a big guy.
Well, this is
Yeah.
when we were about 19 or 20.
Okay.
And he, you know, he was really confident, and he was like, yeah, I can take on anyone. And then Charlie's like, really? All right, let's do some sparring. He's like, all right, come on. So they were like, you know, they were just doing kind of like a fake flat, and Johnny's like, come on. And then Charlie just goes, that same, you know, roundhouse, spin kick, triple punch, combo, you know.
Street Fighter combo.
Yeah, right?
He did all this while Johnny was about to just swing his first punch. And you know what? Johnny didn't even get to swing a full punch. He stopped in midair because as soon as Charlie did, he was just like, oh.
Yeah, you know, Charlie's not the type of guy you want to spar with. Yeah, absolutely not.
And then he did it again, just to prove that he could do it again.
He was really into throwing rocks, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that?
No, I don't.
No, he was
Little
really into
pebbles.
throwing rocks.
He was into throwing rocks.
He was like into throwing rocks at like people, yeah, little pebbles at people.
Really?
Yeah, anything he could get his hands on, just to, you know, just to play around.
Yeah, Oscar and I were talking, and then all of a sudden I see Oscar going like this. He was just twitching. Like, what was that? Like, what was that? You know?
Yeah.
And then I felt it. I'm like, and then
I remember Oscar being a tough guy. I remember him because he was all big on like how much Taekwondo he knew.
oh yeah, he was. You know, I love Oscar, and I'm sure he's going to be listening as well. He's down in Florida, you know, and Oscar definitely took karate, and you know, he did well in Taekwondo. He earned the purple belt.
Didn't he go into the military?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's in the military.
Well, I don't know if he's
All
still
right.
in the military,
Oh, he
but
was, yeah.
he's probably a really tough guy by now.
Wasn't he like a sergeant or something?
Yeah.
Was he a sergeant?
Oh, yeah?
He's been in,
he was a sergeant.
He's been in Korea. He's been, I don't know if he's been in Iraq, but I think he's been in Afghanistan. So he's
Interesting. Very
tough guy, very tough guy.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. I'm wondering if we should move so we get less screamage.
I'm wondering if we should just pause this and continue another day.
At a later time.
Yeah, because it's just getting really loud. now.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably a good idea.
I'll pause it right now.
Part 1 ended for now. You're dark. That was Cafe Chats Part 2 for Ronald, George, and Lindsay. I'm signing out. This is Cisco. You guys want to say something before we leave?
Peace.
Laters.
Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, let's get the check.